In the beginning of the story, we are introduced to our main character, Kenji, who is very helpful and always assists others. One day, while on his way to school, he hears some noises. When he investigates, he sees some bullies picking on a classmate. The bullies call Kenji over and tell him not to help the classmate because they plan to tear up the only picture of his mother unless he buys it from them for $100. Kenji tries to reason with the bullies, but they don't listen. Eventually, he gives them $100 to save the picture, and they leave the child alone. The child thanks Kenji and says he is very kind. Kenji feels happy and smiles. At school, everyone greets Kenji cheerfully, including a beautiful girl named Susan, which makes Kenji happy. Susan asks Kenji for help to throw out some trash, and on the way she praises him for always helping everyone in class. Meanwhile, the bullies are seen enjoying themselves with the money Kenji gave them. One of them, named Jung, calls Susan over. She looks scared, which makes Kenji think Jung is threatening her. Jung calls Kenji to go away, but Kenji stays put. Susan assures Kenji that she is fine and tells him to leave. Kenji is conflicted about whether he should get his uncle for help or if Susan will be troubled after he leaves. Eventually, the other bullies leave, and it's just Susan and Jung. Susan tells Jung not to talk to her at school, revealing they are dating. Kenji, still hiding, is shocked and feels betrayed. Kenji feels scammed and is almost in tears. After school, he plans to talk to Susan. When they walk home together, Kenji asks if she is dating Jung. Susan hesitantly admits they just started dating, which shocks Kenji. We see a flashback where Susan's father, a drunkard, used to beat her, and she vowed to marry a kind man like Kenji. This was the reason Kenji tried to be kind all these years. Back in the present, Kenji confronts Susan about her choice, reminding her she wanted to marry a kind man, unlike Jung who bullies others. Susan responds that while she dated a kind man before, he was boring, and bad boys like Jung are more attractive and interesting. Kenji is left speechless, and his efforts over the years seem wasted. Kenji grabs Susan's hand and claims he's even worse than Jung, revealing that he has been pretending to be good and is actually a gangster. Susan laughs, thinking Kenji is joking, and calls him a good person. As they continue walking home, Jung shows up, takes Susan away, and forbids Kenji from being with her. Susan stops Jung and asks Kenji to walk with them. She flirts with Jung, making Kenji uncomfortable. Kenji realizes his years of effort were in vain and decides to become a gangster for real. Back home, his gangster family members bow to him,